Welcome to CBS Sports HQ Spotlight here on CBS Sports Network. I'm Chris Hassel. Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. And looking ahead to our Thursday game, Cowboys-Chiefs, that one got a whole lot more interesting thanks to what Dallas and Kansas City did on their home fields yesterday, both coming from double digits down to secure must-win victories. The Cowboys timed their largest comeback in franchise history, a 21-point comeback win against the division-leading Eagles. Dak Prescott, 19 straight home wins in divisional games. That's just one off the modern record set by Tom Brady of the Patriots back in the late 2010s. Cowboys still have a pulse. Now, they got a lot of work to do, but they're a game and a half out of the last wild card spot with the 49ers playing the Panthers tonight. They're 2.5 out in the division. Their chances more than doubled, according to Sportsline, but still just over a 10% chance to make the postseason. Let's get into divisions with Rand Carthon, who is going to pick a division winner here with 6 weeks to go, and we'll start in that NFC East. Look, if you look at the odds, it's basically no shot for the Cowboys. Vegas has it at 35-1 that Dallas comes back and wins this division. What do you think?
I think it's the Eagles. I think I have the Eagles winning this division. I felt this way even before the season started, that this was very much the Eagles' division. Now, listen, the Eagles have yet to play a complete game in terms of their offense, defense, special teams, or even have a true rhythm on offense without guys getting upset the following week about their lack of touches. We won't even get into that, Chris, because that can lead us down this long, long road. But you see here with the remaining schedule, you have Chicago, you have the Chargers, you have Vegas, Washington, at Buffalo, and then Washington again. You're seeing the team right now with 8 wins, have a very winnable game with Las Vegas, and 2 potential wins here with Washington. So there's an opportunity for them to close out with 11 wins, and I think they get to that magic number and win the division.
And for Dallas, they're closer in the wild card. Do you see the Cowboys making it to the postseason?
I won't necessarily rule them out, but I don't see it because I just think right now when you have the NFC West being as stacked as it is, you have 3 potential teams there that can make it, and then the NFC North as well have 3 potential teams that can make it. So I think that will bump Dallas
So
out.
is this basically too big of a hole that Dallas dug, or do you not see them as legitimately a playoff team right now as far as the way they're playing?
No, I think it's the hole that they dug themselves in because I think that they have a good football team. I don't think offense has ever been an issue in terms of them being able to score points. Their defense was very bad to start with, and I've been on record saying that we're going to go back and look at this season, and it's going to be the pre-trade defense versus the post-trade defense. And not only is it post-trade with the acquisitions of Logan Wilson and Quentin Williams, but you're getting the DeMarion Overshawns. You're getting all these guys back, and they're starting to get healthy, and you're starting to see those guys make plays for them. And so now I think on the back end, the defense is going to play like a defense that Dallas wanted to be able to put out there on the earlier part of the year, but it just weren't able to get there just due to injuries.
Feels like another must-win for the Dallas Cowboys this week against the Chiefs.
Every game from here on out is a must-win.
It might be the same thing for the Kansas City Chiefs as well. They needed to beat the Colts. They did. We'll see what happens Thanksgiving against the Dallas Cowboys, but Rand likes the Eagles to hang on in that division. Now to the NFC North, and this one's great. It's the only division where 3 teams are separated by just 1 game.
Yeah, and so for me, and listen, I've gone back and forth on this one, but I'm going to give the nod to the Lions. I think the Lions find a way to get it done. As we saw on the graphic, Chicago is 8-3, Green Bay is 7-3-1. And this division here, pretty much when it comes down to this playoff picture, they're going to take care of each other because the Lions, on their remaining schedule, they have the Packers, they have Dallas, they're at the Rams, Pittsburgh, at Minnesota, and then at Chicago. And so then you look at this, they're going to have to play each other down the stretch, and it's going to kind of, the attrition is going to set in. This division will work itself out because, like I said, the Lions here, they still have to play all 3 teams in the division. You look at Chicago, they still have to play Green Bay twice and then end the season with Detroit. And then the same thing for Green Bay. You have to play Chicago twice, and you still have Detroit. So this will figure itself out in the NFC North. But man, what a great race! And for this division to start the season with, and I picked the Lions to win the division, and I picked Chicago to be a wild card team, just based off of their offseason that they had. And this decision was made pre Michael Parsons trade. I had Green Bay missing it, and I do think that there's still some questions out there as to whether this Green Bay offense can really step up and find a way to play a complete football game, because I don't think we've seen that yet.
So you have the Lions winning the division.
Have the Lions winning the division.
The other two teams certainly in playoff position right now. Which team, Bears or Packers, do you have more questions about at this point?
I have more questions about the Packers at this point, because I think what we're seeing out of the Bears, this is who they are. And this is who they're becoming, right? Because this is a new program under head coach Ben Johnson. But I think right now, the reason why I have the questions with the Green Bay Packers is this offense. And we've been saying, and I just last night on Game Day Recap, Pete Prisco was saying, we still have not seen the best of the Packers. But we're, 12 weeks?
He says that every week.
We said we're 12 weeks into it. Is this who they are? And to me, that's the big question. Is what we've seen out of this offense so far, is this who this offense really is? We don't know. That question is going to still linger.
Vegas still believes in the Packers. They have Green Bay as a slight favorite over Detroit, and then Chicago around 3-1 to win that thing. Rand thinks that the Lions are going to get it done in the North. Let's go to the West. It's a very similar division to the NFC North, where you have three teams that are legitimate playoff teams at this point. And now the Rams on top by a game. We know they beat the Seahawks last week, a little over a week ago. And now they are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. What about this division?
Yeah, and I have the Rams. I just think right now when you talk about this Los Angeles Rams team and you talk about complementary football in all three phases, I think they are playing better than anyone in the entire league right now. I think if you had to rank from top to bottom, you have to have the Rams as the number one team in the league. Matthew Stafford is playing lights out football. I don't think I've seen Devontae Adams smile as much in recent years as he's been smiling here. And just the way Sean McVay and his staff is coaching, the performance they're getting out of some of these DBs, the Emmanuel Forbes that other teams have pushed out of their building. But this is why Sean McVay built his staff the way they did. Aubrey Pleasant, their secondary coach, and I believe he's also has the title of assistant head coach. He's done a masterful job with this secondary, and those guys are very opportunistic on this back end. But then you look at the Rams' remaining schedule, 4 out of their 6 remaining games are on the road. And what better way would you want to have to go on the road 4 times to close out the season than with a veteran group that you have? They're used to playing on the road. It'll be good for them. So you have at Carolina, at Arizona, Detroit, and then at Seattle, at Atlanta, and at Arizona. They're going to, 2 games against Arizona still left. Not saying you want to count those as wins, but those are very winnable games. The Carolina game's a very winnable game. There's going to be a game, and I think Atlanta will test them well, just the way that Atlanta's defense is playing and the way they're built. And then you have 2 playoff caliber games against Detroit and in Seattle. But nonetheless, I think the Rams win this division.
Do we get 3 playoff teams out of this division?
I think you do. I think you do, and if you look at the 49ers schedule and what they have coming up over these next 3 weeks in particular, all winnable games, I think they can get to 10 wins, and I think that will be enough to help push them into that 6 or 7 spot. And
favored pretty heavily to get a victory tonight against the Carolina Panthers, because San Francisco is at home on Monday Night Football. That would get them to 8-4 and only a half game behind the Seahawks for second place. Rand likes the Rams, who are now the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Let's go to that NFC South, which it seemed like the Bucs were just going to run away with it. Yeah. They have fallen off. The Panthers, if they pull an upset on Monday Night Football, would be in first place. Who's the division winner here?
Man, so this is one I probably spent the most time on, just in terms of going back and forth. And then you add in the Baker Mayfield injury to last night's game. That has to factor in. I've seen a report where it's a sprained AC joint. And, Chris, I promise you, though, that is so painful to play through. I played through my entire senior year at Florida with a sprained AC joint, and it becomes about pain tolerance. Can Baker Mayfield play through the pain tolerance? Because it's something that you can shoot up and play with on Sunday, but it's the rest of the week that causes you the most problem because you can't shoot it up. However, even with that said, they're getting Bucky Irving back potentially this week. which is going to be huge for them because now they can lean on this running game if Teddy Bridgewater has to play, or even if Baker Mayfield is in there, they can lean on this run game. And Sean Tucker has ran well when he's been given opportunities. He's had a 100-yard game since taking over the bulk load of the carries. So although I went back and forth, the ultimate deciding factor for me in choosing the Bucs, and I am choosing the Bucs over Carolina, is that the Carolina Panthers have the third hardest remaining schedule to close out the season. And they have to go at San Francisco tonight. Then they're home against the Rams. They're at New Orleans. Then home against Tampa Bay, Seattle. Then they have to play at Tampa Bay again to close out the season. And although I love the way the Panthers have played, I still think they're a young team that is figuring out how to win games. And so I think if this was a year from now, it'll be a different conversation. But right now I'm taking the Bucs.
Panthers, just a 12% chance to make the postseason going into Monday Night Football tonight. Bucs favorites to win that division still, despite the slide, at minus 360. Taking a look at the NFC odds, and there are the LA Rams now on top at plus 210. They have actually allowed the fewest points in the NFL as well. You think of the Rams, you think of all the numbers Matthew Stafford and that offense are putting up, but the defense has been fantastic as well.